Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to the 3 Things I Learned. Saas Sports Tech and Live events, the first Saturday in May. Kentucky Derby coming up, a big partner of ours, an event we love and have been to before multiple times. Number 1, a consortium led by Todd Boehly is about to buy Chelsea FC for just north of £5 billion. And if he doesn't succeed, there will be other bidders that will pay that much. The same Chelsea FC that sold for £1 in 1982, just a few years after Jerry Buss stole the LA Lakers from Jack Kent Cooke. We're all watching along in Winning Times, the HBO drama that's fictitious about the rise of the Lakers. Now, all of these things seem so obvious in the rearview mirror. Of course, English soccer would become this major powerhouse. It was the national sport, but at the time, it wasn't obvious. TV is what helps take them there, but even TV was pushed back on. The first Premier League deal, as discussed in The Club, The Rise of the Premier League by the authors, the teams wouldn't allow the first half of their games to be broadcast, and about 10 games into the season, a few of the teams pulled out of the deal completely. The thing that made them powerful, they even pushed back on. We see so many parallels in our careers. Back when StubHub was working with teams and being thrown out of buildings because we would erode season ticket holder rights. What we hear about gaming, what we hear about crypto possibly being a sponsor, and so on and so on. The innovator's dilemma is true, especially when it comes to live events. How we've made revenue in the past isn't necessarily how we're going to make it in the future, and those that embrace that are the ones that generally win. I guess that's why history isn't written in the moment. That's number 1. Number 2, there's nothing better for live events than the creation of a new sponsorship category. We can't go one day without seeing a new crypto, gaming, cannabis sponsorship that's out there. For years, there was some encroachment in sponsorship as the categories were starting to get carved up. What used to just be beverage and banking were now specific kinds of beverage and specific kind of bankings, but now we've had a whole influx of new sponsors that are able to play in the game. As announced this week when the NCAA lifted the ban on gaming and other providers from sponsoring bowl games. What I found interesting about this, a few years ago I met with a high-level executives at one of the gaming companies, and we work with most of them here. And they told me that they had $2.8 billion proposals on their desk and $1.2 billion in budget to spend, and therefore he was the most popular guy in town. But even then, he was relatively shocked at how lazy and uncreative some of the proposals were that he was seeing to get some of that budget. I must be doing something wrong. I'm still in a business where we actually do have to call people back who are trying to spend money with us. But it'll be very interesting to see how these races play out, especially with the bowl games and with the big rush towards crypto. That's number 2. And number 3, your prospects who didn't buy from you are not stupid. So as mentioned last week, we met with 16 companies that we are advising through different accelerators and funds, and we're also looking at some businesses that we're looking to purchase. And there's a really common theme across a number of these businesses whenever we talk about why somebody chose a competitor and not them. We saw that here while we're still building the business too. Our customers didn't buy from us because they were stupid, lazy, or crooked. I mean, they're not that direct, but that's kind of what they insinuate. We hear it from everybody. There's probably 50 people who think that this post is about them. But that's not the reason for people not buying. That's a cell phone. The goal is to sell something that people want to buy. And if nobody is buying our products, then who are the stupid ones? That's it for this week on the 3 Things. We'll see everybody next week.